Hey everybody, this is HD. Welcome back. It's time for another HD Pro Game Series broadcast, and we are going to be looking at Huck versus MoonGlade in a series of games. It is actually Huck playing as the Protoss player. He's playing on a different region. That's why he actually had to use a different player's account, which looks like this Protoss player is going to be, the account is going to be Trader. But nonetheless, never forget, it is Huck behind the controls, and it is going to be a Protoss versus Zerg series. This is, I believe, a best of 5. It could be a best of 7. I'm not exactly sure yet. But regardless, I think this is going to be an epic series. Once again, the first game is going to be on Xel'Naga Caverns. And MoonGlade, I think you guys all know who MoonGlade is. He is a very good Australian Zerg player. He's been here since the original beta of Starcraft 2. He was actually part of a lot of big tournaments, including HDH. And Huck is just one of the best Protoss players all around right now in North America. I do believe right now he is living out in South Korea playing for Team Liquid. And so, yeah, this is going to be a Protoss versus Zerg series. As you guys can see, MoonGlade here is going to be the Zerg player up at the top right, and Huck already moving his probe in here. Oh, nice little, I don't think Huck there was going to try to steal the gas, but MoonGlade getting the gas down anyways pretty early. And MoonGlade may actually be doing some kind of a early gas build here with early Zerglings, which is really weird. You don't usually see this used against Protoss players, but MoonGlade here might actually try to be early and aggressive, which, yeah, like I said, it's not common against Protoss players. So we'll see if this works out at all. Remember that Huck already has his probe in here. It's already scouting. So Huck already knows exactly what's going on, and I'd expect to see Huck throw up a cybernetics core right here as soon as possible so he can block off that front door and make it very difficult for Zerglings to run inside the main. And wow, Huck is going to actually be getting a second gas down very early on. So this is a very peculiar opening for Huck. Maybe he's going to rely on blocking off his front door, and then he's going to try to go for Void Rays, which would be a very interesting development. So we'll see how this starts off. Remember, the first game in every series is always the most crucial game. The reasoning for that is because it sets the momentum for the rest of the series. It really builds the confidence level of the player up, and it allows the player who wins, it basically lets him be secure in his build orders. It lets him know that, hey, my builds work, my strategies work. And the player who loses, he kind of gets thrown off balance. He gets thrown off the scale a little bit, and he's got to readjust. So it's always important to win the first game in a series. And we'll see how this opening game is going to play out. Looks like Huck is going to be throwing up his cybernetics core, as I stated, right below the gateway. Do note, remember that the second assimilator went down before the cyber core. And whenever this happens, it's usually a good indicator that we're going to be seeing some kind of early Void Rays or some kind of early gas tech from the Protoss player. And it looks like MoonGlade is going to be throwing up his hatchery anyway, so I don't think he's going to be going for some kind of an all-in Baneling bust or Speedling bust. He just wanted to get the early speed Zerglings out. He's going to try to apply some pressure here, but Huck very wisely has his Zealot up here at the front ramp, and that's going to, of course, prevent the Zerglings from running inside the main. The probe here is also going to be able to hop right over the Zealot and get inside. And Huck right now, he needs to make sure he can get a Stalker out. Otherwise, the Zerglings are going to be able to break through this gateway. Because if the Zealot tries to maneuver and tries to attack these Zerglings, well, what's going to happen? The Zerglings are going to be allowed to run inside the main, and that's not what Huck wants to allow. Oh, wow, the gateway could actually go down here. Chrono Boost being used on the Stalker to get that thing out. There's a lot of Zerglings right now. They have speed. I think the gateway's going to go down, and the Zerglings are actually going to be able to run through and take out the Zealot. And is there a Stargate going down? Yes, there is a Stargate. It's actually now just warping in. So Huck has to pull probes off the line, but wow, that's brilliant by MoonGlade because he gets his Zerglings inside. He sees what's going on. He sees a Stargate. A pylon here preventing the rest of the Zerglings from running in, but the pylon's going to get taken out. MoonGlade's going to get all of his Zerglings inside the main. And now Huck, even if he gets his Void Ray out, I think he may be too far behind to catch up. 16... No, he's still got more probes because he went for an earlier eco build, whereas the Zerg player went for all these Zerglings, but that's about to change as the Zerglings are killing off so many probes. A ton of them in the red, a lot of them have no shields, and Huck will GG out of this game. So that is a quick game number 1, and like I said, momentum sets the pace for the rest of the series, and look for MoonGlade to use that momentum, build up in the second game. And we're going to go ahead and move on to game number 2. So Huck now down 0-1. MoonGlade, the Australian, up 1 game. We're going to move on to game 2. HD signing out.